experience we have like these lessons, whether we learn them or whether we don't, but it's like it in a way like shapes how we think, how we see, how we feel, our experiences with people, um,
Everything.
everything. Yeah. Um,
Absolutely.
I think that makes me. I don't know if you guys heard of preconceived bias.
Yeah, our preconceived
Mm.
notions. Yeah.
Yeah, so like a lot of perceptions can be changed because of what you said,
mhm,
situational, what they've been through, or
mhm,
what they've experienced, and that could create a preconceived bias
mhm.
Yes.
that
Mm.
alters their perception of reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is why
Mm.
it's really important to heal through, generational trauma,
Mm-hmm.
cycles, like when you have like repeating like cycles, whether
Karmic
it's
cycles.
people, yeah,
Yeah.
karmic cycles, because that in a sense, it's like the way that, it's like cause and effect, the way you see things, the way you act, the way you feel, it
Yeah.
just can like literally like you're here. So what are you gonna do with yourself being
Mm-hmm.
here? How are you gonna like treat other people? How are
Yeah.
you gonna, you know,
Yeah.
stand up for yourself? How
Mhm.
are you gonna move accordingly?
Absolutely. And if you don't heal that trauma or that generational trauma, then your karmic cycle will continue to repeat. So I
And
think that's a
then
great point.
and then the devil wins.
Yeah.
And that
Mm.
also goes
Exactly.
back to being able to be vulnerable with yourself, to be able to even see those things,
Absolutely.
to be able
Exactly.
to even to acknowledge, like, because a lot of times I've
Oh, this a
experienced
John
within
today.
myself that I have a chip on my shoulder. I don't
Mm.
want to see certain things about myself, or I don't want to hear certain things that people have to tell me.
Mm-hmm.
And that changes my perception and how I move and how I
Mm-hmm.
react to certain people. So
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Mm.
everything. That's everything.
it's
Cause
just being vulnerable with yourself to be able to see those parts. Honestly.
no, no cap. That's everything. Cause knowing you for about what, almost 5 years now,
Mm-hmm.
and I noticed that, but I didn't have the words for it. It's crazy
Right.
how you get into a conversation when you don't meet people. You always learn something new about the
Perception. You
person
got a new
that you've
perception.
been new. And walking around like with the chip on your shoulder, I really peeped that.
Right.
But it
Mm-hmm.
calls you to be more expressive and vulnerable about the issues that you have, and that's the only way to heal. King Solomon is
Mm-hmm.
one of my favorite figures and
Right.
favorite people, and one of the
Mm.
things that he says is that a man that hides his sin will not prosper.
Right.
So wearing your
Mm.
heart on your sleeve, you don't understand. Like that's why they even say like shame the like I think what they say like tell the truth and shame the devil, or shame the devil and tell the truth, something like that. Because
Mm-hmm.
when you're vulnerable, like that's light, that's being exposed, and then now you're in a place where God can deal with you and you're
Yeah.
ready for Him. But the more you keep those things aside, the more they're hidden, and the more you repeat that constant karmic cycle.
But to go off of what you said, you're exposed, and that's not always just to God.
Mm-hmm.
That's to the devil too, and that's why a lot of people
Mm.
don't. Not to get too religious on y'all, but like that's why a lot of people don't get to the place of vulnerability
Yeah, because they
because
feel like
they're
they're gonna be
scared of
hurt.
not only the devil, but with what comes with the devil, haters and
Yeah,
people who pry on your
yeah,
weaknesses and
I
yep,
I think that's innate
Distractions.
intelligence, right? Because some people come with that software built in,
mm-hmm,
whereas too they protect themselves.
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Myself, for instance, I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm transparent. I'm a super
I'm
loving
the same
person.
way.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm super vulnerable. So people exploit that as a weakness, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And with me being 37 is really at this point I'm really just now figuring out self-love
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
trying to put myself first as opposed to putting everyone else before me. But I had
Mm-hmm.
to learn that. I didn't have that built in.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm looking at everybody else and thinking like, what the fuck is going on? Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking
Mm-hmm.
love is the ultimate, but then I'm starting to see that it is ultimately, but other powers are more dominant in this physical realm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I gotta learn that. So in order to heal, it takes learning.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
to learn. So either from external or through experiential or
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
A couple quick points. So I feel like the people that might exploit that are people that were grown in a state of survival. And when
Mm-hmm.
you're in a state of survival, you become savage.
Mm-hmm.
And when you become savage, you become an opportunist.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the people that need to be removed. As far as you, I could definitely see that you are a champion. You have overcome certain things in
I've
your
said
life.
that to you too.
Ooh,
Yeah.
he saw into
Champion.
my soul just
Uh-huh.
now.
That was great.
I definitely respect who you overcome, and you worked
Mhm.
hard to become who you are.
Thank you.
And
Absolutely.
transition into the other mute over here. So, you know, you just dropped a song, Tony Rose, called Slave.
Mm.
So how do you feel as though you're a slave to either a reality or a perception or both?
I